Hey Collective, what is going on? Welcome in. I am Deborah. This is Purusha Intuitive, and we're going to be looking at the weekly energy for this week, June 23rd through the 29th. So let's get into it. We are just coming off of a full moon in Capricorn. The energy is a little intense per usual. But we've been seeing this a lot astrologically as well over the past couple weeks. And what I do like about looking into this week is the tide is starting to shift and change, which means we're getting a little bit of reprieve from some of the difficulties, some of the chaos, some of the drama that's been happening. Or just those feelings being provoked within us, right? That triggering, that frustration, annoyance, having to deal with people, places, and things that just really know how to push our buttons, right? So we'll start off with an energy cleansing. Clear the space, clear the vibe, set the intention for the reading. This is also a good time to set your own intention. If you would like Spirit to answer specific questions or deliver messages, set that intention now and be open to receive. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is blocking the highest and best messages from coming through. Fear, doubt, insecurity, lack of worth, lack of value, overwhelm, stress, frustration, anger. Remove it from us now. Help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. All right, so as I was saying, I'm encouraged looking into this week, more encouraged than I have been lately, because tensions have been high. They've been running high, whether we're finding that within our environment, people, relationships, situations, etc., or just tensions within ourselves, right? The fourth house of family and home pop up. So I'm hearing that we're seeing these tensions on a deeper level in regards to, the people that are a little bit closer to us. They don't necessarily have to be family. They could be relationships that we've had in our life for quite some time. They're being put under the microscope, under the mirror of reflection, and really asking you that question of, how is this working in my life? How is this showing up for me? Is this affirming, adding support, value, or is this something that's really detracting from me? Because collectively, we're doing a lot of growth on a soul level, i.e. Pluto moving into Aquarius. It's in retrograde right now, so it's forcing us to make those changes, right, that don't really align with us. And none of this is easy, right? It does require a certain amount of awareness and humility, all that like fun stuff that we don't really want to pay attention to. And it's really gritting against our ego, our emotions, our feelings, especially right now, because there is a lot of planetary placements in water signs. It's going to heighten those emotions, heighten those feelings. Water element is the dominant energy right now. So we're combating between what we're seeing change in our life, how that's affecting our ego, our pride, and then how it's affecting our emotions, our emotional response to the situations at hand. But I'll tell you, the silver lining is there's a lot of growth and evolution that is happening on that soul level. I love that. Fourth of house, double confirmation. It's forcing us to find balance. It's forcing us to be way more grounded in our life. We talked a lot about this yesterday, that value of needing to have a stable foundation. Fours represent those four corners, those four pillars of stability that we need to be building our life upon, you know, and not in this kind of like boring way or, you know, I mean, middle of the road is best. It keeps us in balance, but it's about having a stable foundation, not something where there's a lot of chaos and drama or people trying to control, manipulate the situation, control your next steps. We're breaking free of that. That is what Pluto in Aquarius really deals with. It's breaking away from the conformity, you know, and moving in a direction that is more heart honoring. And so in order to do that, we have to have that stable foundation. Eight of Swords has been coming up for us a lot lately. Really checking yourself to see the way that you are blocking your own abundance. This can take on a lot of forms. It's mental, right? The things we tell ourselves, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve, or we psych ourselves out thinking something is way worse than what it actually is. There are some mental blocks around this. I feel like this is residual past energy. People, places, and things that you're still cleaning up, that you're still dealing with. I'm also hearing this as decisions that haven't been made quite yet in the decision process. There's still some things that are playing out that are causing us to kind of feel imbalanced or like we don't really have a clear understanding of what the next steps are going to be. In limbo, that's what I'm looking for. And so it makes grappling with the change very hard, especially at the beginning of the week. The sun is contraparallel to Pluto, meaning that we're having a hard time with the changes. Compounded with all that water energy, like it's definitely making us feel very annoyed. Like, I just don't want to do this. Again, where this element of limiting ourselves is coming into play. Don't be your worst enemy right now. Use your intellect for your power, for your strength. Sometimes we do have to be very rational with our approach, especially when there are a lot of feelings and emotions involved. Writing that pros and cons list, thinking about where do I want to be in the next 5 years, and does this make sense towards that goal? Not that we have to have everything perfectly planned out. I think that's a little naive, right? Like, life is magical, life is unexpected, and that's kind of the beauty of it, how those things unfold. And we usually end up in a spot that we're getting what we want, but in like a way better way. When we release control, when we continue towards resistance, trying to make something like that proverbial square peg into the round hole, it just like, all it does is cause stagnancy and frustration. Again, that Two of Swords, not making a decision. The sooner we have clarity around these things, the sooner we're making peace in our heart. And it brings us to a new level of empowerment. The sun is ruled by Leo, and you know, Leos are very much known, they rule the 5th house, they're very much known to like to be front and center. They like to kind of have the limelight on them, even if they are more introverted. I've seen both sides of it. It's, you know, this value for being praised for who they are, their creativity, their uniqueness, how they show up in the world, etc. And that's really what Spirit wants you to highlight in your own life. Empower that Leo energy within yourself. What makes you you? What makes you amazing and unique and beautiful and authentic? What is that thing of magnetism that draws people to you? And stop limiting yourself from that. Stop putting these heavy expectations, boundaries, limitations on yourself as to how you should look. Ironically, the more we choose to be authentic, choose to be ourselves, like the more we end up attracting the things that we want versus trying to like be something we're not. So in the beginning of the week, there's a strong emphasis on surrender, on letting go, on giving yourself space to feel the feels, creating that stable foundation, and really kind of rationally looking at what makes sense moving forward and what doesn't. Where are those places that you still need to kind of shed those layers, chip away, release people, places, things, situations that really just don't align with you. And there's going to be a lot of, there's going to be a lot of communication that needs to happen. Things are coming to head. The vertex point is in Sagittarius, and so expansion is happening. This is what makes me excited as the week progresses, because as much as we're feeling like frustrated and resistant on a surface level, our ego, our emotions, we don't like what's happening, and it's more like I said, it's just more like annoyances. We get it, but we don't want to deal with it. It reminds, like I was hearing that like child temper tantrum. No disrespect, I have mine too, right? But the Chariot pops out, and it's this value of continuing to remain empowered, actually. Yeah, ooh, I love it. I'm glad I showed this. So Chariot, 9 of Cups. We are really stepping into that wish fulfillment as the week progresses. And it's because things are changing, things are shifting on that soul level. We're finding more harmony. We're starting to feel stronger. We're starting to feel a little bit more put together. Also, FYI, there still are things that are playing out, like I was saying at the very beginning of the reading. This conjunction card means things coming to head is how I'm hearing it. Things changing, dynamics changing, especially partnerships, relationships, situations you've been involved in for quite some time that have needed to be looked at, that have needed to be addressed. And it's going to bring awareness to the situation. It's also like be really conscious and mindful of people playing on your feelings, playing on your ego, wanting to get something out of you with this approach. A lot of beautiful words, fancy words. Oh, let's be friends. Here's the thing, I'm seeing this in 2 ways. Because we are in a time of release, I feel like there is new community coming in. Community that is more heart honoring, that is supportive. People, places, and things that have been waiting for you as you've been making these changes, as you've been evolving. But there also are people, places, and things that we need to protect ourselves. Past energies that we know we need to be walking away from. And I see this happening a lot in the collective where we're getting tested. Okay, if someone comes back into our life and says a couple nice things, well, does it mean that we re-engage with that energy? If we choose to re-engage, we really have to be willing to ask ourselves why. We have to be willing to evaluate whether it's worth it or not, right? Seeing it in a different perspective. What I do love about taking a break from people and relationships is when it does resurface again, we really are seeing things through a new lens, through a new perspective. And this confirms why there is more support on a soul level as the week progresses, because the change is happening. Again, we just want to make sure that we're not getting sucked back into dynamics we don't want to be a part of, especially when people are like pandering to our ego or, you know, like, I don't know, kissing our ass, right? We don't want to participate in that. Because it's also it's actually gonna throw us off course, number one, and then we're gonna start questioning things, well, am I really doing it right? Or maybe I was crazy, maybe I was wrong the whole time. Like a lot of things that make us feel really out of alignment with that fortune point. And right now the fortune point is in Pisces, which the hangman rules, a blessing and a curse. We see it from a new perspective, but it can also F with our mind. It can play with our, someone who's playing with our morals and values with this Hierophant energy, right? Playing to the person that they know that we are, and not necessarily what they believe or how they authentically feel. Spirit does want you to self-protect. It's not being a hermit. I don't get that vibe. But the Four of Pentacles is saying protect what you've built to date. So if you are entering into new relationships or new opportunities pop up, don't give yourself away, right? From the get-go, really just kind of be content watching, observing. Yes, engage. Yes, be open to the possibilities. But again, protect what you've built, because we are in that time of testing, whether it is new relationships coming in to see if we're going to go back into old patterns, or old relationships coming in trying to take us back into those old patterns. You have to rise above. You have to trust yourself, trust your inner awareness, your insight, your instincts. Yes, stick to your values, but don't let someone use that as a controlling mechanism over your mental, emotional well-being. Because there is a lot of trickery going on right now, people lying, people who are afraid to lose the comfort zone, and they're starting to kind of tweak out a little bit, right? There's a lot of fear when people walk away from us, and people who don't want to be doing the reflection, people who are still trying to show up in the same ways, not really getting the lessons, etc., are really trying to distract us from our abundance, from that Jupiter energy. And what I love is at the end of the week, it's not necessarily that all the frustration has magically left us, but with this Jupiter energy, the way the astrology is playing out, things are working in our favor, especially if we are paying attention to the details. Jupiter is harmoniously aspected with Pluto and the North Node at the end of the week, which talks about if we're paying attention, if we're kind of doing what we should be doing, i.e., not giving our power away, focusing our energy on things that we want to grow and build in our life, building that foundational support for ourselves, we are going to see fruits of that start to manifest. And honestly, I do feel like a lot of this is starting to come in, especially when we've been committed, faithful to the process. We're seeing that, beautiful, the Lover's energy. I love this. New partnership, new relationship coming in at the end of the week. This is something, this is something that is incredibly complementary to you. It is old soul vibes, old connection, past life, if you believe in that. But it definitely has those feelings of meant to be, right? And it already has this level of synergy to it. I think that's the value of why Spirit is emphasizing beginning of the week, to make sure that you're operating out of a stable foundation. When relationships, opportunities like this present themselves, we want to make sure that we're ready. And not just in a way of be perfect, don't fuck it up. It's not about that. It's we want to be ready to receive so we can continue that growth, that expansion. That is really what snowballs our success. And with Jupiter harmoniously aspecting Pluto and the North Node, it really confirms this blessing of new partnership, new relationship coming in. Again, remember, emotions are still running high. So it might look a little different than how you anticipate. I feel like this message has come up a lot in the past. It is going to be something that you have to think about and think through and take your time with. It's coming off of a situation where you've had something manipulating you, essentially, right? And using who you are, your beliefs, your morals, your values in order to do it. So it's been a little crazy making. And there's this part of you that's like, well, is this too good to be true? Is this another test? Is this another lesson? Am I going to screw myself over if I accept this offer, etc.? And that's where we're seeing that tension in the astrology of the sun and the moon. So, like I said, throughout the week, we're feeling it on a surface level. But if we can really tap into that deeper knowing of bigger picture, this has a purpose. I know this thing isn't great for me. I can understand why it's causing so much tension and drama. And then being open-minded about new things that come in, it's going to make this process a lot more fluid. Yeah. There's new work opportunities. There, like I said, this has something really beautiful surrounding it. You're being asked, you're being given a new offer that shows that it's providing a lot of stability, a lot of abundance. I feel like this is hard work won. Does that make, I don't know if that's a phrase, but maybe. It feels like this is something that's being given to you because of your efforts. You've worked really hard. You've casted your net. You've casted your net wide. This is someone who's acknowledging what you have done. And this is bringing in, this is double effing confirmation. I love this. The cards never lie. Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter energy. And this is how we're closing out our reading. So again, emphasizing that level of abundance coming in and not being afraid of the more uncomfortable things that are happening, because again, it's not necessarily dictating your level of success or advancement. It says that if you are doing it, if you are paying attention, it's happening for you. If you're choosing where you put your energy in a way that honors yourself, it's all manifesting. It's just getting the BS out of the way. And not getting bamboozled, into believing that that's still a part of your life or your energy. You have moved on. Your dreams are manifesting. It is incredibly powerful, and it's overwhelming on all fronts. Just as much as it can be very overwhelming to release, to let go, to say goodbye to things, so can it be overwhelming to actually receive something that is super heart honoring, that blesses our heart, our mind, our soul, letting go of the worry, the anxiety, the things you can't control. Again, this is going to manifest in those very superficial instincts, how something's making us feel about ourselves, our ego, our pride, even our emotions. Excuse me, sorry, I knew it was going to come out. I was trying to stop it, but it wouldn't happen. Those things that are, also playing on our emotional world, triggering us in a way that, it's not the reality. Because wish fulfillment is here. It is being confirmed all across the board. This is really beautiful. I'm excited about this. And again, I feel like this wish fulfillment is something that's going to grow. It's not like, boom, here's the lottery, here's the jackpot. It's more like, hey, this offer is going to pan out in a really strong, grounded way that is going to last you for a long time. There's a lot of abundance on this route, and trusting in that process. Usually those like quick fixes, that instant money, instant gratification is very fleeting. So letting go of the process, letting go of the unfoldment, know that it's coming in the right time, in the right way. I know that's very cliche, But honestly, that is the feminine side of manifestation, being able to release, being able to surrender. Yeah, we get a little like untethered because we're doing all these things or really putting time, energy into the things that we want to and not seeing the results, or the results are so minuscule. It's just been so annoying lately. That's just the astrology. It's that value of being committed, trusting, and knowing that it's going to come in, knowing that it's here. I mean, again, we've seen this all across the board, this reading, knowing that it's here and knowing that you don't have to do anything else outside of what you're doing to make it manifest. So, super exciting. Thank God. This has been a long time coming. We've had a lot of tension, a lot of frustration. It feels like things are starting to open up. I'm seeing this not only in my own life, but from clients, people that I work with as well. So I'm really pumped to see how this is all unfolding. Thank you for your time and energy always. I super appreciate you. Definitely drop comments below. I love to hear how it resonates, or, you know, just if you need a little love and support. I hope you have a fabulous week. Thank you for the love and support to the channel. I am sending it back your way.